City folks just don't care.
Okay, so today's lesson is about graphing and writing inequalities, the start of our whole new unit on inequalities. We're going to talk about, just as the title says, graphing inequalities and writing inequalities, and we have a new standard for the first time in a while. Identify or graph the solution set to a linear inequality on a number line. When we graph inequalities, there's a few rules that we have to know. If we have a greater than sign or a greater than or equal to sign, so when we have this line underneath, that means it could be greater than a number or it could be equal to that number. So if we have any form of greater than, our arrow on the number line is going to go to the right because it's going to point to the larger numbers. If we have any type of less than sign, less than or equals to, our arrow is going to point to the left where the lower numbers are. Another rule we have, if we do not have that equal sign, if we just have a plain less than or a greater than sign, we're going to use an open circle. The open circle means that it does not include the point that it's on. It includes all the points greater than or all the points less than, but not that point. If we have the equal sign in there, so we have greater than or equal, or sorry, less than or equal, or greater than or equal, we are going to color in the circle, which means that point is included in the inequality. So our first one, we have A is less than -2. I don't have an equal sign, so I'm going to use an open circle. I'm going to put the open circle on -2. And then it says that A is less than -2. So my arrow is going to go to the left.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. X is greater than or equal to 3. Because I have an equals, I'm going to use a closed circle. Because it is greater, I'm going to go to the right. Any questions so far? Okay, next page is a set of 3 examples for you to try. Pause the video here, try these examples, and then come back to check. Okay, number 1, volunteer. Travis. What kind of circle am I going to use?
Open.
Open circle, and which direction am I going to go in?
Right.
Good. Open circle because there's no equals, and to the right because it is greater. Number 2, volunteer. Chloe.
Open circle.
Another open circle. And am I going to go left or right?
Left.
Left. Good. Now number 3 is a little bit of a trick question. Seth?
Closed circle.
Good. Closed circle. Am I going to go left or right?
No.
Actually, no. I'm going to go to the right. Here's the reason. This one is written backwards. This one doesn't say n is less than or equal to 3. It says 3 is less than or equal to n. So if 3 is less than n, then n has to be greater than 3, right?
So the number has to be on the right.
Yes,
You could rewrite this as n is greater than or equal to 3.
How do the sounds
Okay, but be careful about these. You can read this from right to left. Also, you could go in this direction and say n is greater than or equal to 3 because the bigger side is facing to the n. Okay, now we're going to go in reverse. We're going to look at the graphs and we're going to write an inequality. Does anyone want to volunteer to tell me what they think this inequality would say? Hart?
Or n is
Okay.
less than -3.
Well, no, if the arrow's going
Greater
this
than
way,
-3.
greater than. Are we going to use an equals or not? Yeah, we need an equals. Greater than or equal to -3.
Wait, I have a question. Could we
Go ahead.
do it like backwards like they did in the other one?
Yes, let's actually do that. If we were to write this backwards, what is another way that we could write this, Chloe?
-3 is less than or greater or equal to.
Less than or equal to n. You could also write it this way. Either of those ways are correct. Okay, next one. Volunteer to give this one a shot. Travis.
N is less than or equal to 2.
No.
Wait, we're
you're
on
wrong.
the middle one.
A is greater than
Okay, n is greater than -5. What other way could we write that one?
-5.
Good, we could also say -5 is less than n. Okay, last one, Seth.
M is less than or equal to 2.
Good. Or, what's the other way?
2 is greater than or equal to
Good, nice job. Okay, next set of slides are 3 for you to try, so I'll just give you a second so you all get a chance to try writing these, and then we'll talk about these as well.
10.
Okay, number 1, Kaylee.
N is greater than -8
Good.
or
Okay.
-8 is less than equal to n.
We wanna-
Less than.
Yeah, just less than. We don't want to all of a sudden stick an equals in there. Okay, good. Second one. Garrett. Good. N is less than 5. How else could I write that, Garrett? Good.
No.
And the last one, Hart.
N is greater than or equal to -6.
Good. What's the other way we could write it?
And -6 is less than or equal to n.
Okay. Nice job. Any questions about this?
Nope, it's easy.
Yeah, look at homework.
Okay. One more tiny thing we have to do, and then I will give you your homework. Okay. This one is writing inequalities to model each situation. So taking, kind of like when we wrote expressions before in the equations chapter, we're doing the same kind of thing here. So we have, this room can seat at most 25 people. That means what? Could we have 20 people in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we have 25 people in the room?
Yeah.
Could we have 28 people in the
Nope.
room? No. So
You
how
can
would we
make
write?
set
How would we
or
write
stack
an
'em on top.
expression?
N
N
is less than or equal to 25.
Very good. N is less than or equal to 25. We could have
Right.
25. We could have anything less than 25, but we can't have more than 25. Travis, question? Oh, you want to do the next one? Okay, next one says you need at least $100 to open a checking account. Travis, how would I write that one? Good. N is greater than or equal to 100.
Is it always
So-
going to be greater or less than equal to?
No, not
when you do
necessarily.
this?
We'll see some examples where it's not. Okay, so this one says you need at least $100. That means you could walk into the bank with $100 and open your checking account, or you could have more than that, you just can't have less. Okay, this one's worded a little differently. It says you need to save more than $5,000 to buy a car. Hart, what do you think about this one?
N is more than $5,000.
Yeah, or greater than. N is, and in this case, we're not going to use the equals because it says more than 5,000. That means it can't be 5,000. Okay, now we have the glass holds less than 20 ounces of water. Seth?
N is less than 20 ounces.
Good, N is less than 20. If it's less than 20, it can't be exactly 20. Okay, your assignment is you can choose to do either the basic or the challenge assignment, depending on where you are. I'm going to scratch 58 though from the
Wait, if
assignment.
we do
Don't do
both, will we
58.
get like
Triple points.